Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first webinar for the Residency Doctor Program at VinUni University. I'm Dr. Thuy from College of Health Sciences, VinUni University. Joining us today, I'm pleased to introduce our speakers. Professor Mauricio Trevisan, Dean of College of Health Sciences. Dr. Eli Reeder, Program Director of General Surgery Training. Dr. Tony Biskap, Program Director of Pediatric Training. Dr. Thành Ngọc Tiến, Core Faculty from Internal Medicine Program. And last but not least, our current VinUni residents. Our session today will be divided into two parts. Part 1 is the sharing from Dean, Program Directors, Faculty, Residents. Other speakers will give you more information and insights about the program. In Part 2, we will move to the Q&A session and answer the question from the audience. So first of all, may I invite Professor Mauricio Trevisan, Dean of College of Health Sciences, will have a few words to open the session and say welcome. Please.
Thank you very much. Welcome everyone. It is a great pleasure to welcome you to this session so you can learn about everything about the best residency program in Vietnam. The College of Health Sciences is part of the new VinUni University. We are starting now recruitment for the third class, and we have three programs, two undergraduate program, an MD program, 6-year MD program, a Bachelor of Nursing program, and we have the three residency program in internal medicine, general surgery, and pediatrics. As you may know, this is really a revolutionary program because we are applying new standards to medical education in all three programs and especially in the residency program. The residents, they're all based on US and Western standards, and our partner is the University of Pennsylvania. In fact, the program director are University of Pennsylvania faculty, as they will speak to you in a few moments. The residents that are current in the program will be able to tell you about their experience, but it is really the opportunity for you to go into the future of medical education and be prepared to serve Vietnam, the Vietnamese people in the world with the tools that are prepared for the 21st century medicine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean Mauricio, for the warm welcome. The audience, I believe that many of you have heard about the graduate medical education training before. However, what actually makes a difference and stand out, what actually is the highlight of the program, let's find the answer together in the next 90 minutes. Moving on, I would like to invite Dr. Eli Reeder, member of the GME Leader Board, to introduce the general overview of the residency program. Please, Dr. Eli.
Thank you, Dr. Thuy. It's so nice to be able to join our team here in person tonight and all of the applicants who are joining us online. We hope that you will be excited about our programs and apply to them when the application opens in February. I'm excited to have the opportunity to share a little bit about our programs tonight. I am a general surgeon and an assistant professor of surgery at the University of Pennsylvania, and my current position is leading the general surgery residency program here at VinUni University. So we're very honored to have our dean, Dr. Mauricio, here with us tonight. Our leadership for the GME program also includes the vice deans of the College of Health Sciences, Dr. Lê Khu Linh, and Dr. Phung Nam Lam, who's also the Deputy CEO of the Vinmec healthcare system. And we really appreciate their strong leadership. You'll also meet several members of our GME program leadership tonight. Currently, our internal medicine program director, Dr. Paul Liu, is in the United States, so he won't be joining us tonight. But you will hear from our pediatrics program director, Dr. Tony Biskap. Other team leadership includes Dr. Nguyen Thi Tuyet, the Associate Program Director for Internal Medicine, Dr. Phung Tuyet Lan, the Associate Program Director for Pediatrics, and Dr. Tien, who you'll hear from a little bit later about admissions, who's our core faculty in internal medicine. The most important members of our program here, we think, are our fantastic residents. They're the reason that we are all here, and I think that you will find that they'll be an incredibly important part of your training as they join with you as your colleagues during your residency time and as your future co-physicians in the Vinmec healthcare system. This is our first cohort of residents who joined us in late 2020 and were the pioneers of our program. And this is the second cohort of residents who just joined us within the past month. We're very excited to have them here after a long year of COVID delays, and we really appreciate their resilience through that process, and we're looking forward to spending more time with them in the coming year. Our current 2 groups of residents includes students from 14 different medical schools throughout Vietnam. And between the 2 cohorts, we now have exactly 20 men and 20 women. So we're excited about an incredibly diverse program and our very qualified and talented residents. I'll share a little bit about our program overall now. The Vin University Graduate Medical Education curriculum is based on international evidence-based training standards. All of our programs have similar overarching goals. We want to train physician leaders who can practice medicine at the top of their field, develop compassionate physicians who have excellent communication and interpersonal skills, educate researchers who will be able to address clinical, patient safety, and quality improvement challenges, and train physician directors who can help manage interdisciplinary teams and work with hospital leadership. Our program is built on the strength of a collaboration between 3 world-class organizations. Obviously, we're excited to have the resources and the innovative programs of Vin University, our sponsoring academic institution. We also have a strong partnership with Vinmec Hospital System, which is both our primary teaching hospital and the sponsor of the resident tuition benefits and stipend. And we get a huge benefit from the faculty and leadership of the Vinmec healthcare system. And as Dean Maurizio mentioned, we have a partnership with the University of Pennsylvania, who is our international academic partner and is helping us to build and refine our curriculum to make sure that we stay at the cutting edge. We have state-of-the-art training facilities with simulation centers on the Vin University campus, at Vinmec Hospital, and at our partner public hospitals. Our residency classes have small class sizes with a high faculty-to-learner ratio. We're following an innovative competency-based curriculum that's based on international standards, and we have a supportive training environment with mentorship from faculty experts at all of our partners. You can see here the 4 training sites that our students will spend time at in Hanoi. The Vin University campus, which is on the east side of the Red River. And then in central Hanoi, we have Vinmec Time City International Hospital, our primary training site. For adult patients, we also spend time at Military 108 Hospital. And for pediatric patients, our residents will spend time at National Children's Hospital. And we've been very excited to be welcomed by the leaders and by the excellent faculty there. You can see the exciting celebrations when we signed our memorandum of understanding with each of these sites. As I mentioned before, we were very excited to welcome our first class of residents in 2020. This is the white coat ceremony that was held at the Vin University campus to recognize that event. And we're looking forward to welcoming our next group in 2022, which we hope will include many of you who are here with us tonight. All of our residents will have access to the excellent Vin University facilities. We're sitting here tonight in the beautiful Vin University library. In addition to the excellent physical space and textbook resources that we have in person, there's also an extensive catalog of journals and e-textbooks and other multimedia resources online. We also have very innovative labs here at the Vin University campus, including 3-dimensional anatomy tables and plasticized cadavers, which our residents will learn from alongside the undergraduate medical students. We have an excellent simulation center here at the Vin University campus, as well as other devices and space at our training hospitals. And the residents start working in the simulation center within the first 2 weeks of their training here. So we really want to emphasize the benefits of simulation for our learners and for our patients. Many of our residents will choose to stay on campus, at least for the first portion of their training, which is here at Vin University. And they'll have access to the newly built, beautiful Vin University dormitory. And finally, I want to highlight our excellent clinical faculty. They're very dedicated to our residents, and they spend their time to attend a series of workshops that we call the Master Clinical Educator Academy. This faculty development program was developed by experts at the University of Pennsylvania, and it has really helped to take our faculty from being not just clinical experts, but now developing experts in medical education. And we think that our residents are going to see a huge benefit from the investment of time and energy of our faculty. I'd like to pass now to Dr. Tony Biskap, our Pediatrics Program Director, who will share briefly about the benefits of our GME program.
Thank you, Dr. Eli. I wanted to just highlight that we're very excited to have everybody here. There's a great turnout, and thank you everyone for joining us. So one of the things that makes the Vin University program, residency program, so unique is our benefits. And we offer a generous benefits package that provides full tuition and a monthly stipend for all of our residents. We provide a supportive training environment that promotes wellness and a healthy work-life balance. And as Dr. Eli mentioned when he briefly talked about the library, our residents have access to thousands of publications and textbooks through the VinUni library, including online access. The benefits also include a pathway to employment with prestigious Vinmec healthcare systems, not only in Hanoi, but in other parts of Vietnam. So we want to highlight some of the hospitals, and Vinmec International Hospitals have world-class physicians and equipment as well. So these are some of the places. The hospital in the middle is the Vinmec International Hospital located in Hanoi. And this is where a lot of your training will take place, including at the other hospitals not shown here, but National Children's for the pediatric residents and the Military Hospital 108 for internal medicine and general surgery residents. And now I will pass the microphone over to Dr. Tien, who will talk with you about the internal medicine residency program.
So we will come with Dr. Tien from the internal medicine to share more about the training program at Vin University.
Thank you,
Please.
Dr. Tien. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Tien, faculty coming from the internal medicine program, residency program. And on behalf of my team, I'm very happy to be here to introduce briefly about our program. So about internal medicine program, one common question coming to us is, what does an internal medicine physician do? So most of you have known, we care for adult and geriatric patients. How about the variety of patient and practice? We practice inpatient and or outpatient medicine. We provide care for both healthy patients and medically complex patients. We address both acute health concerns as well as chronic disease management. And you know, the variety of patient and practice is very wide. For the career pathway, we do the general internal medicine for inpatient and outpatient. And after that, we advance to training programs in other clinical specialty, like we have more training in cardiology, gastroenterology, oncology, and nephrology. About our residency program, I really want to introduce you briefly about the prominent characteristic of the IM program. For our IM program, the duration is 4-year program. The size, each year we recruit 10 residents per year. For the training sites, our residents will practice in Vinmec International Hospital, Time City, and one military central hospital. We have some core rotations and some specialty rotation. For core rotations, the resident will practice the general medicine ward, the general medicine clinic, the cardiology, oncology, emergency department, and intensive care unit. It is the core rotation that all the residents have to pass through in the growing of the competency. For the subspecialty rotation, we have some main specialty here. We have endocrinology, hematology, nephrology, neurology, and some other important specialty. And it is a briefly introduction from me on behalf of IM team to all of you about our program. Now I would like to transfer the presentation to Dr. Tony.
Please, Dr. Tony.
Okay, hi. So thank you, Dr. Tien and Dr. Thuy. Yes, I'm really excited to share with you a little bit about the pediatrics residency program. So pediatricians care for children from birth to young adulthood, and we are concerned about the health, the welfare, and the development of children. So we see a variety of patients, and we see patients both in the hospital and in the clinics. We take care of healthy children and medically complex children. We also perform routine well-child checks to ensure that the children are growing and developing appropriately. But we also take care of many acute health concerns and chronic disease management. This includes things like infections, any kind of infection you can imagine, asthma and other pulmonary conditions, and many more. Pediatricians, general pediatricians can practice inpatient medicine, meaning in the hospital, outpatient medicine, or vaccination clinics, or both, or all three of these things. Advanced training programs are also offered in other clinical specialties. So this would be the equivalent of CK2 in Vietnam. And this includes things like neonatology, pediatric critical care, pediatric emergency medicine, pediatric cardiology, endocrinology, pulmonology, and many other specialties. So our program is a 4-year program, and we admit 8 residents per year. Our training sites are Vinmec International Hospital in Time City and National Children's Hospital in Hanoi. Our core rotations include general pediatrics, so the inpatient pediatric ward, the general pediatrics clinic, so outpatient, adolescent medicine, pediatric emergency department, neonatal and pediatric intensive care units. We also have a wide variety of subspecialty rotations that are required for our residents in order for them to graduate. These include endocrinology, nephrology, cardiology, pulmonology, neurology, genetics, and many others that aren't listed here. And now, that's a brief summary of the pediatrics program, and I will pass this over to Dr. Eli to talk with you about general surgery.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Tony. Yes, we will come into Dr. Eli to share more about the surgery program. However, I want to ask you a question that what will appear in your mind when I mention about surgeon? Because I myself personally have to admit that I really admire the surgeon, especially when they spend hours in the OT to do the surgery. And to become a surgeon, it will be a long journey with so much training and practice. So Dr. Eli, can you tell us more about the program over here at VinUni University? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Thuy. So many people may wonder, what does a general surgeon do? So first of all, a general surgeon may care for patients of all ages, including adults and children, and we're primarily concerned with the potential surgical needs of our patients. General surgeons may practice in a wide range of settings. This can include inpatient settings in the hospital, outpatient medicine in the clinic, in the emergency room, and of course in the operating room. We perform surgeries on patients of all ages within the scope of our practice, and we may manage diseases that affect the abdomen, the chest, the head and neck, the vascular system, the endocrine system, and the skin and soft tissues. So this specialty has a really broad scope. In terms of careers, graduates of our program may choose to work as a general surgeon, working in the inpatient, outpatient, and operating room setting with a broad practice, or our graduates may choose to pursue additional advanced subspecialty training, and these could be in specialties like colorectal surgery, thoracic surgery, vascular surgery, transplant surgery, minimally invasive surgery, or pediatric surgery, among others. The general surgery program is a bit longer than the other programs. Our program is a 6-year program. It's based on the same training model that's used in the United States, and we accept 4 residents per year. Because we're learning to operate on adults and children, our residents will spend time at all of the affiliated training hospitals, including Vinmec Hospital, 108 Military Central Hospital, and National Children's Hospital. The length of time of our program allows our residents to have a longitudinal exposure to a wide breadth of surgical specialties and to build their progressive independence over time. Our residents will spend a significant amount of time on general surgery rotations at Vinmec Time City, in gastrointestinal surgery, hepatobiliary surgery, colorectal surgery, and surgical intensive care. And they also will have in-depth exposures in various subspecialties, including thoracic surgery, breast surgery, vascular surgery, pediatric surgery, and radiology. And we also include a significant amount of elective time near the end of the program so that the residents can start to build towards their subspecialty practice that will make up their future work at Vinmec hospitals. So I'm happy that I could share a little bit with you about the general surgery program. And now I'll move back to Dr. Thuy.
Thank you very much, Dr. Eli. So far, we have listened to the brief introduction of the GME leader boss and the faculty. We hope that the information sharing will be helpful for all the students and the parents today to find the most suitable program. But how about the feeling of the current resident who actually experienced the training so far? Now, let's listen to their thoughts and feeling from 3 current VinUni residents today. Dr. Nguyễn Duy Nghĩa, second-year resident from Internal Medicine Program. Dr. Nguyễn Thị Thùy, second-year resident of Pediatric Program. And the last one, Dr. Phạm Hoàn Mỹ, first-year resident of General Surgery Program. Please, Dr. Nghĩa.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nguyễn Duy Nghĩa. I'm the second year resident in Internal Medicine Program here in Bin University, or as we prefer to call it, PGY2. So I graduate from Hanoi Medical University, where I learned my love from medicine, and I think that this our GME program will be the place where I achieve that dream on the medical journey. So there is a lot to say about my past experience here for more than 1 year, but all I can say is very abundant and fruitful what I have achieved. I think that I can speak for all our first year residents, second year residents as well, that we are being careful, and the standards of training here in our program is nonetheless it's on par with other great training program in the world. we are very focused on the standards of ACGME-I, and we are very well supported. So I think that for a program that trying to achieve so much in their very early stage of development, GME team has accomplished a lot, and I have no doubt that we will continue to welcome new new cohort of residents, and I'm very looking forward to be working with maybe one of our audience today in the next year to come. So I think I will share about my experience, and I'll pass it back to.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Nguyen. How's about Dr. Thủy? The pediatric program will join it virtually.
Yeah, so hello everyone. So my name is Thủy, a second year resident in a pediatric program. And I would say that I have no regret of choosing pediatric program in VinUni University, not only because of my many benefits we got when we trained here, like you can see, like easy access to medical knowledge and international standard training program, but I also love this program because of like I have a lot of wonderful peers and teachers, and I hope that like my small like experiences here can inspire you and may help you, like a lot of you can choose VinUni University as your like major path to get better in your career path. Hope that like you can become like a part of our team.
Thank you very much. So Dr. Ms, how's about you?
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Phạm Hoàng Mỹ, and I am the first year resident in general surgery. I come from the University of Medicine and Pharmacy in Ho Chi Minh City. Well, about our program today, last year at this time, I was just like all of you here, listening to the online webinar and trying to learn about this program. And what asked me a lot last year was how the program will train you not only to be a surgeon, but also a great leader and inspirational lecturer in the future. And now I really treasure this opportunity to stay here today to share all experience with you, and I hope that we will work in the future. So I was just, due to the COVID pandemic this year, we only get to school for only 1 month, but it also gives me a lot of impression. We just have a core clinical skills, core clinical knowledge, and I haven't had a chance to go to the hospital yet, but we will soon go there for an observership program after Tet holiday. What impressed me from the first year is the way that people teach us, the way that they welcome and appreciate all the questions, and they will answer every question that we give. And for the second thing that impressed me is about the preparation that the school will give us to be well prepared for the clinical sessions. I mean, we have a very up-to-date simulation center where we can practice every clinical skills. And we also have a very advanced library where you can borrow books and access to a lot of resources around the world. One more thing is that some people that I share about this program is kind of afraid that they don't have enough English skills, they don't have much experience in the USMLE tests, something like that. But I want to make sure that don't worry about that. Our program will base on 3 rounds to choose the most appropriate candidate, and they will judge you on, comprehensively on academic, non-academic achievements, and also on your own personality. So I just want to say that don't worry, be yourself, and be our candidate for the next year coming. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for all the lessons, for the sharing. We appreciate your real experience. And moving to the very important part now, that maybe raise a lot of questions for the audience today is about how VinUni recruits residents. How's about the admission process? Well, I would like to invite Dr. Thanh Ngọc Tiến from GME team will give us the overview of the admission process this year.
Okay, thank you, Dr. T. I guess that most of you now are very curious about our admission process. So I want to introduce you very briefly about prominent characteristics of our admission process. As you may know, and also Dr. Mi have shared a little bit, we assess and we choose the applicants based on multifaceted process. So for the admission timeline in 2022, our online application will be available at late February, and this online portal will last until April 30. And then we have the review cycle, and then all the choosing applicants that we think it is eligible will register for the exam from May 15 to May 30. And most of you have known that we have the GME entrance exam called IFOM exam in mid-July, and early August, the applicants passed the GME entrance exam IFOM test will register for the interview. And late August, in-person or virtual interview will be organized for all of the eligible applicants. And you may know that we have the final rank list at early September, and after that it will be the match day. In October 2022, the GME training program will start. Okay, so it is the tentative timeline for this year admission process. Now I move to next session. I will introduce a little bit more detail about our process. So when you come to our process of admission, you will have the link to online application portal. As you see on the screen, it is the two direct link to the portal that we you will submit your application online, and then you may have some more information about the admission on our official webpage, and you click into the how to apply, and you will see the recruitment timeline there. Link to previous VinUni GME webinar as now you join will be published on the link as you see it on the screen. And the GME program info session will let you know more about our process of admission, about our events, to give you more information about the admission. The link to question and answer on VinUni GME webpage will be on the screen as you see. You may have your answer to all your questions in the FAQ on the VinUni GME webpage too. The contact info and FAQs will be posted here, and you will see the most common questions, and you will receive the answer directly if you have any concerns or worry about our program or our admission. So now I will introduce you some basic parts of online application. You will have to fill in all the information. For example, if you choose the programs, internal medicine, pediatrics, and general surgery, you may have three choices. You should choose the most wanted program as you want as the first choice, and then the second choice and the third choice. The second part is very important for us is the personal information. And then the academic information, for example, you put in the GPA score or the other test score that you achieved during the medical school period. And you have to write 5 short essay questions. You have to put the information about the letter of recommendation from faculty member at medical school. And then to prove all the information you post before, you have to upload the files to improve that. For example, you have to upload the official photo, national ID, medical school transcript, and all other certificates. For example, I will show you now on the screen. It is the personal information with the important blank for you to fill in the information about you. And then for the academic information, it is the GPA scores for each year, from first year to the last year of your medical school. So at last, the overall GPA for 6 years, you will fill in later when you have the final score from your medical school. Other standardized tests here, you put in your achievement here, like IELTS test score or TOEFL score. Don't worry if you don't have this score. It is optional for you to fill in. But if you have any score or academic achievement, you should put here and let us know more about you. Other scholarship, award, or honor or certificates that you have, you should put your information here. And then for non-academic, many questions come to me that is a non-academic achievement important to the application review? I will say yes. We assess the application based on many dimensions. Even you have the academic records very good, but also we review your non-academic achievement too. And if you have any achievement, you should put in here. It is the short essay questions. You will have to write down 5 short essay following our 5 questions, short questions that suggest you to follow. And then each essay no more than 250 words for each response. Here you have to put in here the recommendation letter here. And then also you have to fill in the name of the faculty that who write the recommendation letter for you. Here is the document upload. You have to upload all the documents needed to prove all the information above here in the order. So about the IFOM practice test material, in the Q&A session, our resident will share more information about this. But from the leaderboard of the GME program, we suggest you to have these shots as your reference. For the self-assessment, you will click into the link on the screen, and the fee will be $35 US. For sample question, it is free, and also on the IFOM clinical startpractice.com. So it is 2 official sources that you may want to refer when you prepare for the IFOM test. So it is the main characteristics for our admission process. So if you have any questions more, you can email to our official email, GME Program, vinuni.edu.vn, or you can refer to the GME Program webpage as you see on the screen. So it is my brief introduction about the admission process.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Tien. This is all very important and helpful information for the audience. So we will move to the second part of our seminar today. That's the Q&A session. We have received a lot of questions from the chat box over here, and we will select some of them to answer from the speakers today. So I can see the question over here. May I come first with the question about the general surgery program? Can the general surgery program extend to accept more residents? So maybe Dr. Eli can help us to answer the question.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Thuy. So I will say that in the future, we would love to be able to expand the general surgery program, but we do not have any immediate plans to increase the number of spots. And I think it's important to share with you the reason why that is. We want to make certain that the residents that do join our program have the absolutely optimal experience. And for a surgeon, it's mandatory that they have enough cases in their training to practice. And so while we are learning and understanding what types of cases and the number of operative cases that are available at our training sites, we want to make sure that we maintain an appropriate number of residents, that they can have the attention and individual training from the faculty to make sure that they are optimally trained and positioned to succeed in their future careers. So I hope that in the future we will have more spots, but it probably will be a few years before we're able to expand.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Eli. So that is still the question regarding the program. That's about the languages, the teaching. Will the resident be trained fully in English? Can you help us to answer?
Sure. So we do try to emphasize English in our program. One reason that we do a lot of the training and teaching in English is because the curriculum is coming to us from the University of Pennsylvania, and our program leadership are from the US. And so the way that we can best share our medical knowledge with you is in English. We also try to emphasize English in our academic sessions for the benefit of our residents. We know that for them to be able to best participate in the international medical field, in research and conferences, that they will be better prepared to succeed if they can both read English language medical literature and also produce research and present at conferences in English in the future. But we also recognize that this training program is in Vietnam. And of course, our faculty, and more importantly, our patients, primarily speak Vietnamese. So in the clinical setting, much of the teaching and all of the patient care is conducted in Vietnamese. So it really is a hybrid model. We want our residents to learn and improve their medical English. And in fact, we will have coursework offered through Vin University to take a formal approach to that. We emphasize medical English as part of all of our formal conferences. But you also will build and apply the things you're learning in the clinical setting with your conversations with faculty and patients in Vietnamese.
Okay, thank you very much for the sharing. So we have more and more questions going on in the chat box. So there is some important question regarding the admission. We can understand that is really concern from our audience today. This is a question about the IFOM test at the entrance exam. Will be in English or in Vietnamese. And also another question regarding the IFOM test and the admission process is about the end of September that the audience afraid that they have not graduated yet because of the pandemic. Will there be any adjustment regarding the issues for the admission process? So the two questions regarding the admission process, I'd like to invite Dr. Tien to give the audience more information.
Okay. So I will answer this question, but to be more clear, so I want the permission to answer in Vietnamese. Okay. Tôi xin chào các em. Về những cái câu hỏi Q&A thì anh xin được phép trả lời bằng tiếng Việt để cho các em được rõ hơn. Thì câu hỏi đầu tiên đấy là câu hỏi về IFOM test sẽ được tổ chức bằng tiếng Anh hay là bằng tiếng Việt. Thì vào năm 2022, VinUni vẫn tổ chức kỳ thi IFOM test là trên cái phiên bản là tiếng Việt, cho nên các em cũng đừng có quá lo lắng. Chúng ta cứ luyện tập cái kỹ năng lâm sàng, các cái kiến thức lâm sàng thì các em đều có thể trả lời cũng như là hoàn thành tốt cái bài thi IFOM này. Cái ngôn ngữ tiếng Việt thì cũng đã được validate và cũng đã được hoàn thiện để cho cái sự khác biệt là nhỏ nhất giữa cái việc các em được học, được đào tạo trong trường y cũng như là cái việc các em cập nhật cái kiến thức từ những cái nguồn chính thức về kiến thức y khoa trên thế giới. Cho nên là chúng ta cũng hết sức là tự tin với cái năng lực của mình và các em cũng yên tâm rằng là cái bài thi IFOM test này cũng hoàn toàn là quen thuộc với chúng ta về mặt kiến thức y khoa. Thế còn về một cái câu hỏi thứ hai, đấy là về việc là vào tháng 9 thì một bạn có hỏi là vào tháng 9 thì một số các cái bạn sinh viên thì chưa có tốt nghiệp trường y thì có tham dự được vào kỳ thi IFOM không và có tham dự được vào kỳ thi tuyển sinh hay không. Thì anh cũng xin nói hai cái khía cạnh. Thứ nhất đó là chương trình hết sức tạo điều kiện cho các em vẫn tham dự kỳ thi IFOM và cái kết quả kỳ thi tốt nghiệp thì các em cần phải thông báo chính thức cho chương trình trước cái ngày match day. Có nghĩa là các em vẫn tham dự kỳ thi IFOM, tuy nhiên các em sẽ phải có cái bằng tốt nghiệp cũng như là cái công nhận tốt nghiệp từ trường y mà mình đang theo học trước cái ngày mà chương trình offer các em một vị trí ở trong cái chương trình đào tạo bác sĩ nội trú. Thế còn nếu như bạn không có được cái kết quả của tốt nghiệp đại học y mà trước cái ngày match day thì các bạn sẽ chưa thể có được một vị trí chính thức ở trong chương trình. Thì đấy là câu trả lời từ phía anh là người đại diện để trả lời các câu hỏi về tuyển sinh. Xin cảm ơn.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Tiến. So we have more and more questions coming, not only about the admission, but also about the other specialty going to be open in the future. Will GME program have extended to obstetric and gynecology or other specialty in the following years? Dr. Eli?
Thank you for the question. So I think in the future, Vin University and Vinmec Healthcare System would like to expand their partnership and offer training in other specialties. However, we don't have a definite timeline for that expansion. We're trying to make sure that we're very cautious and careful and prepared, and that we can fully support our current residency programs. And then when we know that we can provide the world-class level of training for the other specialties, we'll begin to expand to additional training programs. So I hope that will be coming in the next few years, and we will be excited when we are able to announce those additional training programs. But we will not have those additional training programs for this recruitment year.
Okay, thank you very much. So we already hear some answer from the faculty and the program director. So I would like to raise the answer from the audience for the student. There's a question about becoming a surgeon. Do you think it's appropriate that a girl wants to become a surgeon? How about this question? Dr. Me from our general surgery program, the first year resident. What did you think?
Well, about the question, if it is appropriate or not, I think the answer is in you. It's like people may prevent me to become a resident doctor here in Vin University because it will take me 6 years to graduate from the residency program. When at the university, we only need 3 years. However, I don't think that it will be it will prevent you to be a good surgeon. And I believe that a girl can also have their own quality to qualify to be a qualified surgeon. I think so.
Yeah, thank you very much for the sharing.
Can I add to that, Dr. Thuy?
Okay, sure.
I just want to say, not only do I think it's appropriate that women could be surgeons, but I think it's an excellent idea, and I fully support women applying to our surgery program. We now have 3 of our 8 general surgery residents who are women, and I know from my personal experience as a resident training with my starting class was 4 women out of 7, and they are all outstanding surgeons, including my wife, who is a transplant surgeon. And even when I developed appendicitis as a resident, the surgeon that I chose to operate on me was a woman who happens to be a leader in the colorectal surgery field in the United States. So I want to say emphatically, yes, it is totally appropriate. I know it has not been traditional in Vietnam for women to become surgeons, but I think that Vietnam is entering a new era in medicine and in surgery, and I expect that women will be a significant part of the future of surgery in Vietnam.
Yeah, very interesting answer from Dr. Eli and Dr. Me over here. Thank you very much. We have more question regarding the admission process. This is about the quality that Vin University is looking for in the candidates. Also about the IFOM test. Where will the IFOM test take place? So Dr. Tien, can you help us to answer the question, please?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Thuy. Another question about the admission, and I also want to answer in Vietnamese to be more clear. So, cảm ơn các em đã đặt ra những câu hỏi này. Thì thực sự thì VinUni đánh giá cũng như là lựa chọn các bác sĩ nội trú dựa trên rất nhiều các cái khía cạnh, từ cái niềm đam mê với cái chăm sóc sức khỏe cho người bệnh, cũng như đến những cái tố chất lãnh đạo, những cái tố chất để trở thành những cái người lãnh đạo lâm sàng tốt và giỏi. Thì tất cả những cái đó nó nằm trong một cái quá trình đánh giá dựa trên rất nhiều các khía cạnh khác nhau và dựa trên cái hồ sơ online cũng như là kỳ thi IFOM và cả cái cuộc phỏng vấn mà các em sẽ tham gia trong cả một cái quá trình chúng tôi tuyển chọn các cái bạn ứng viên phù hợp cho chương trình. Thế có câu hỏi tiếp theo đấy là về cái IFOM test sẽ được diễn ra ở đâu? Thì hiện tại trên dự kiến thì chúng tôi sẽ tổ chức kỳ thi IFOM tại 2 địa điểm chính là tại Hà Nội và tại thành phố Hồ Chí Minh. Tuy nhiên thì tùy vào tình hình hiện tại tại thời điểm tháng 7 sắp tới năm 2022 thì chúng tôi sẽ có những cái thông báo chính thức đến cho các ứng viên để các bạn có sự chuẩn bị trước để chúng ta có thể tham dự kỳ thi IFOM một cách an toàn và hiệu quả nhất. Đấy là
So much. So also about the admission, apart from the IFOM test, we will have some other requirement for the admission applicants. How about the letter of recommendation? Does this need to be from the lecturer at student medical school or can come from any medical school? Do you have any advice for the student about this, Dr. Tien?
Đây cũng là một cái câu hỏi mà rất nhiều các bạn cũng đã gửi thư về cho chương trình và đồng thời nữa là ban lãnh đạo của chương trình cũng trả lời các bạn hết sức là rõ ràng rằng là cái việc mà các bạn gửi một cái thư giới thiệu từ phía giảng viên chính là một hình thức để có được cái nhìn khách quan nhất về năng lực cũng như là về cái tố chất của các ứng viên. Chính vì thế cho nên là chúng tôi rất là mong muốn các bạn có thể gửi cái lá thư giới thiệu từ những giảng viên làm việc trực tiếp với các bạn tại trường Đại học Y, giúp cho chúng tôi có được cái nhìn khách quan nhất và đầy đủ nhất về phía các bạn. Một cái tip nhỏ để dành cho các bạn ứng viên đấy là các bạn nên mời những giảng viên mà làm việc với các bạn nhiều nhất, hiểu rõ các bạn nhất và có thể đưa ra những cái nhận xét cũng như là những cái đánh giá khách quan nhưng chính xác nhất về các bạn. Điều đấy sẽ được thể hiện qua việc các giảng viên viết cái thông tin về các bạn ở mức độ tin cậy cao và cái đấy sẽ gây ấn tượng với hội đồng tuyển sinh rất là nhiều. Thì cái đấy là một cái lời khuyên mà chúng tôi dành cho các ứng viên dự thi năm nay.
Yeah, thank you very much for the answer regarding the admission question. Before we continue with more questions, I saw the comment on the chat box. Not about the question, that's the comment for Dr. Mỹ. Can you show the chat box, please? Yes, that's the comment to Dr. Mỹ about thank you for your response in Vietnam and in the resident doctor training program. In my university, it's rare for a girl to be attending the general surgery program. So despite the fact that I still love that specialty, that's a comment from the audience for Dr. Mỹ, our first year resident of the general surgery program. Thank you very much.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah, sure.
We're talking about young women. We're not talking about girls. Because I think that if he was a resident man, we would not say if boys are allowed to be surgeons. So I think we should probably use a better word than girl.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, all. Okay, we have time for more questions. From the chat box, if you have any more, please feel free to write it down in the chat box. Coming to the question about the scientific papers, does the program accept the case report article and review the article and look for the original research only? Dr. Eli, can you help us with that?
Sure. So for our applicants, when you're completing your online profile, I encourage you to highlight any works that you have put effort into. We really take time to review each part of the application. Our program directors and our core team go through, we'll carefully read your essays, and we'll look at any supplemental documents that you post. We may give a little more consideration to an ongoing research project or a research study that's been published, but the fact that you took the effort and initiative to publish a case report is also is something that we applaud and we appreciate, and we will value that and take that into consideration. So I encourage you to highlight anything that you have committed effort to, that you care about, that is a reflection of who you are as a physician in training. And we're excited to see that. It's an exciting time for us when we get to start learning about the applicants and seeing the doctors that may be joining our program in the future. So I definitely encourage you to include any projects that you've worked on the application.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Eli. More question on the admission application. This is about the IFOM test again. Yes, so can you share the basic structure of the IFOM test? Thank you. That's a question from Nhi Đặng from the audience today. Dr. Tiến.
Cảm ơn em. Thì trên cái phần FAQ ở trên trang web của chương trình thì cũng đã có câu trả lời cho cái câu hỏi của em. Tuy nhiên thì tôi cũng xin nhắc lại một chút. Thì về cái nội dung của cái bài thi IFOM ấy thì là sẽ bao gồm 6 cái phần chính. Đó là phần nội khoa, nhi khoa, ngoại khoa, sản khoa, y học gia đình và một phần liên quan đến tâm thần học. Ở đây muốn chia sẻ với em một chút hơn nữa về cái mặt chi tiết về kỳ thi IFOM. Thì mặc dù nói là nội khoa nhưng nó sẽ bao gồm tất cả các mặt bệnh nội khoa, không chỉ là cái chuyên ngành nội mà các em đã học trong trường y, mà nó còn bao gồm cả các cái lĩnh vực chuyên khoa lẻ khác, ví dụ như là cả tám mũi họng hoặc là răng hàm mặt. Những cái đó là những cái câu hỏi chuyên về nội khoa. Trong ngoại khoa cũng sẽ có những cái câu hỏi liên quan đến như vậy. Thế thì 6 cái domain chính đó thì đã được tổ chức NBME đưa lên cái trang web của mình, và các em có thể tham khảo ở trên đó, cũng như là trên cái trang web chính thức của chương trình GME ở trên cái trang web tại VinUni. Thì cũng có những cái câu mà trong cái phần FAQ trả lời cho cái câu hỏi này của em có thể tham khảo thêm. Cảm ơn em.
Yes, okay, thank you, Dr. Tiến. So, more question about the IFOM test. So, may I invite our resident to share more about the preparation? How do you prepare for the IFOM test, or do you have any advice for the future resident today? Dr. Nghĩa?
Thank you, Dr. Thuy, for your questions. So I started to prepare for the IFOM test. I think you need a good, a solid base of your knowledge in medical schools, so you can be well prepared, and then familiarize yourself with the format of the test, as well as practicing other controlling the time and practicing the strategies to do the test. But the main source of document that are being shared amongst the residents is that might be a good source of documents that you can use to be prepared, and other ones is a few very classic textbooks to prepare for the USMLE test, because on the IFOM test and USMLE test, the first two steps shares a very similar I think it's range of knowledge and requirements. They are both very broad, but their question is very I think is very good in assessing the general base of knowledge of medical students. So that is I think that is you need good strategies with good documents to be prepared to score a high score on the IFOM test.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Nghĩa. And you have a more question coming, so I can choose some of them. Okay, we have a question about the exam condition, the requirement. The exam condition for the GPA is need to be above 7.0 in a semester, or total GPA need to be 7.0 upon graduation.
Câu hỏi này thì chắc là sẽ xin trả
Tiến,
lời luôn.
Thank you very much.
Theo quy định trong cái quy chế tuyển sinh của Bộ cũng như là của riêng VinUni, thì các bạn cần phải có cái điểm tổng kết toàn khóa là từ 7 trở lên, thì cái đấy nó là một cái quy định cứng rồi. Thì và cũng trả lời thêm cho một câu nữa cũng đang hiển thị trên màn hình ở đây, đó là đối với những cái trường đại học mà có cái thang scale là 4 ấy, thì các bạn sẽ quy đổi như thế nào. Thì chúng tôi có một cái công thức quy đổi riêng và rất là chính xác, đã được validate rất là tốt. Đấy là các bạn điểm GPA của các bạn nếu mà thang hệ 4 ấy, thì các bạn phải có điểm từ 2.8 trở lên thì sẽ tương đương với cái điểm 7.0 toàn khóa. Thì đấy là trả lời cho câu hỏi về GPA của các bạn. Vâng.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Tiến. So we have Dr. Tony joining us virtual today. Dr. Tony wants to answer the question about the applicants for the program. Dr. Tony?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Thuy. So someone had asked earlier if it's possible to apply to more than one residency program, and it definitely is. And in fact, on the application, when you go to the website, you will see that it will ask you to rank your first, your second, and your third choice. And if you have only one choice, that's okay. If you have two, that's fine, but you can choose your second or third choice. And we also ask on the application, one of the essay questions asks about why you are interested in your second choice. So for example, if you want to do general surgery, but you also really like internal medicine or pediatrics, you can put surgery as your first choice, and you can put pediatrics as your second choice. And when you answer the essay questions, you will write about general surgery, but then you will also have some time to write about your second choice. And yeah, so I just wanted to make sure to answer that question. We encourage you to apply to more than one as well. If you're interested in the program and joining VinUniversity Vinmec and being in a program that uses ACGME criteria and follows competency-based medical education, then we definitely encourage you to put down more than one residency program.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Tony, for your advice. It's definitely increased the opportunity of the student. So we have maybe for the last two questions for today. In my first choice is to major in surgery, but I don't have enough condition. Will I have a chance to get into the other major? Yes, I think Dr. Tony already mentioned about it, so it's already covered. So we come to the last question for today about the letter of recommendation. How many of them are needed? If more than two, it's okay. Does the letter of recommendation need to be in English? Dr. Tiến.
Về cái câu hỏi này thì chương trình ban tuyển sinh yêu cầu các em chỉ cần nộp một cái lá đơn giới thiệu từ phía giảng viên mà biết rõ các em nhất. Tuy nhiên nếu các em có thể có hai cái thư giới thiệu thì cũng sẽ là những cái góc nhìn khách quan đến từ những cái giảng viên biết rõ mình và có thể giúp cho ban tuyển sinh nhìn nhận được chính xác hơn về năng lực cũng như là về con người của các em. Thế thì cái đó cũng là một cái thuận lợi cho các em khi các em nộp những cái lá thư giới thiệu này. Tuy nhiên thì ban tuyển sinh cũng biết được là một số bạn cũng gặp những cái khó khăn hay là cũng chưa sắp xếp được thời gian để có thể đến gặp những cái giảng viên mà biết rõ mình để viết thư giới thiệu. Cho nên là yêu cầu từ phía chương trình là chỉ cần các em có được một cái lá đơn giới thiệu đến từ giảng viên biết rõ mình nhất, như vậy là cũng là đủ rồi. Đấy, cảm ơn các em.
Yeah, thank you for your answer. So thank you very much for all the speakers today. Thank you for the audience for your attendance. We are coming to the end of the session. We hope our session today already gives you more information about the GME program. Our next webinars will come back after Tet holiday, where the admission portal will be open as well. In addition, GME open house events will also be open, where you can visit VinUniversity campus and contact directly with the GME leader boss. Thank you very much for your attention. Goodbye, happy holiday, and see you again.